What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my beautiful co-host, John Luke. What's up, JL?
What up? You can't blame it on Josh this time. I am beautiful. There's no one else to try and deflect here. That was a compliment meant solely for me. Thank you, Simon.
You're welcome. Directed exclusively your direction.
Yes.
Guys, also joining us is another member of the Front Yard fam. We got Joey right here. What's up, Joey?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me as part of the team and on and here and
thanks for being
everywhere,
my
I guess. Thank you. Thank you for being my friend. I want you to be my neighbor. Thank you.
Joey, it seems like you're just asking to get fired with that sucking up at the beginning right there, but we'll see what happens by the end of the show. Guys, also joining us today for Mock Draft Monday is very special guest and great friend of the show, Scott Rainier, a.k.a. Munder Difflin FF on Twitter. He is a writer, podcaster, and YouTuber over at IBT Media and also a writer over at Fantasy Data. Scott, thank you so much for joining us, my man.
Oh, man, thanks for having me. You know I love this show.
We love you.
Anytime I get to be on it, it's revolutionized my lunch break being over here on the West Coast.
That should be our slogan.
Yeah, it really has.
Your lunch break.
There's some weeks where you'll know. I'm sure you're all checking the chat to see if I'm there. But no, there's some weeks where I can't make it, but whenever I can.
Those weeks we
whenever
hate
I
you.
can. So much fun. Funnest thing on Twitter, except for trading.
You get really, really busy taking care of those plants behind you, don't you? Because those look healthy.
Yes.
Those are not dead.
No, I definitely am the one in this house that takes care of the plants.
Of course.
100%.
Of course you are.
We got Craig in the chat. He's got a question for us. He said, I wonder who will have the best team at the end of this draft. Oh, Craig, that was pretty good. Fiji, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Said, though I'm really busy with the NHL trade deadline, still have time to watch you guys. Appreciate it, Fiji. Busy time of year for NHL people out there.
We wish you luck next season, though.
Yeah, good luck on whichever team you
kill
end
it
up
on the ice.
Yeah.
Go Kraken.
Who knows one like hockey saying? Know what I mean? Like something you would say.
Slide on in.
Nice. Oh, there we go. We got two. Oh, watch out.
Fighting.
Here comes the puck. That's what I got.
Wear a coat.
How about, look, Little Wayne's legs are bleeding. Little Wayne's head is bleeding.
Oh,
right?
God.
One time, that's from.
I have no idea what that's from.
That's from Swingers. It's from the movie Swingers, where they're playing an old like Nintendo hockey game, and Vince Vaughn is able to get his player to knock over Wayne Gretzky, and he falls on the ice, and his head starts bleeding.
Oh my God!
Like in old NES graphics, it was great.
Craig, and you're saying I make one trade with Josh in a league, and then he doesn't show up for work. Directly related, Craig. He let us know that's exactly why he wasn't showing up. And then Kaysen, look at that dedication. Up since 3 a.m. and drove from Arizona to California, and now I'm watching stream. Dub. Man, you know what is being even more underappreciated here? Arizona, the time zones that he just had to struggle with right there. Arizona not doing daylight savings time. Other states doing it. Like, what a journey you went on.
Doesn't Arizona touch California? Don't they touch each other? Like,
they touch.
I think
only
so.
on Sundays.
I think quite a bit. Yeah, I think quite a bit they do touch.
Keep that one up, I guess.
Josh, welcome in here. Glad to have you here. And Front Yard Fantasy with a reminder, we do have some open spots. We are down to 2 left in this draft. So if you guys want to mock, one left, team number 9. So anyone who wants that number 9 spot, grab it. It's yours if you're in there first. And if you're not, it's not yours. So that sucks. Mr. Scampers, welcome in. Glad to have you here. And come here now, Beach 89. Hello to you as well.
Doing their best Albert impression.
Scott, I really think we're gonna have to steal this from you. Revolutionize your lunch break. That's
You provided
beautiful.
it for me, so you can steal it. That's fine.
Here,
Brady's
Josh
in here. We're full.
Brady took the last spot, and Josh has a hockey phrase for us. Stop cross-checking. Mr. Scammer's a great band, Joey. Did you start a band, Joey?
With Scott Fish?
I think it's my Scott Fish Bowl shirt.
No, I think he's talking about the band you started, the polka funk band that you started. It's probably what he was referring to.
I can't remember the stupid shit I say.
Tuesdays with Maury, right? That's the name of your band?
No. Also, we got Swamp in here saying Julio to Indy, who dat, work and I cry. But guys, we did just learn about Matt Ryan to Indy today, just about official. So Scott, I wanted to come to you first. How does that make you feel for Matt Ryan and for the offensive pieces on the Colts?
I didn't know. I knew that was rumored. I didn't know it was close though. I mean, I think it's an upgrade for the Colts. It's an upgrade for the Colts players. It'll be the best quarterback they've had in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta, not really sure what it means for Atlanta. Depends on, I guess, who goes there. I just did a write-up on some rookie wide receivers and landing spots, and I was looking at Atlanta as a good landing spot for one of the top-level rookies just because they desperately need a receiver. But now I don't know if I want a top-level receiver to go to Atlanta for my own selfish purposes, just because who's going to be throwing them the ball. But in Indianapolis, I mean, I like this is good news for Michael Pittman. It's good news for the pass catchers. I think it's not that Jonathan Taylor needs more good news, but any kind of, dispersion of offensive threats is going to be helpful for Jonathan Taylor. So it's a good move.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Sorry, go ahead, Jay.
I saw a tweet by Albert Breer earlier. It said the Colts are sending their slotted third rounder, or the 82nd overall pick, to the Falcons for Matt Ryan. That means Indy's going to keep their 73rd pick, which was acquired in the Carson Wentz trade. So they essentially swapped QBs and moved their 3 up 9 spots and got next year's pick with this move by trading for Carson and then trading away. Crazy smart.
And Atlanta's eating a lot of the cap for Matt Ryan.
Paying for it a lot. Right? Yeah, the first year. Yeah,
that was that was like some wizardry that the GM over there for the Colts pulled. It seems like an upgrade, and they're really not losing much at all.
$40.525 million in dead money.
Oh my!
Seriously?
Gosh.
Yep.
Oh, Russell Wilson had recently set the record for most accepted dead money when he got traded, but that will go ahead and take that title from him.
Absolutely insane.
That's crazy.
Casey's saying Atlanta stuck with Josh Rosen. I've also seen a lot of Mariota. I don't know, rumors or just hype if people are excited about the possibility, but
there's Baker, there's Mayfield too. I mean,
yeah, I think it would be stupid for the Browns to go after Mayfield at this point. I feel like he's good enough that he would ruin a tanking season when they really seem to be set up to tank over there, but we'll see what happens. Joey, how do you feel about this move?
It's nice to see Indianapolis get a little luck again. So I was saying no, I like Ryan a lot better than I liked Wentz, so I immediately like Pittman more than I liked him last year. And T.Y. Hilton, last I saw, I took him like in the second or last round in a Dynasty Startup. Even if he's only going to play one more year, he said he might come back when Jack Doyle announced he's retiring. But as far as Atlanta goes, like I know Winston's not going to get traded in division, so I have no idea who's going to be their quarterback.
All I know is there's going to be 6 defenders on Kyle Pitts every single game,
man,
which sucks.
Yeah.
Where does Atlanta pick in the draft?
8th overall.
Are they the first team to take a quarterback?
Maybe now. I thought until now I thought they were going to be probably the first team to take a receiver. I mean, 8 is a little bit high, but a lot of the mocks show them taking a receiver. London, or not many show Burks, London or Wilson at 8. But now, I mean, maybe, unless they want to. I can't think of a rhyming scheme off the top of my head, but go for one of those 23 rookies and tank this year. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Cordell Patterson could be quarterback.
Hey,
yeah, he's already listed as 3 other positions, right?
Yeah.
We can throw him in there. Guys, we are going to get into our mock draft now that it's full. We will have plenty of time to continue discussing the news while we are drafting today. but I am going to go ahead and kick this draft off. A reminder for everybody watching, this is a Dynasty 1 quarterback PPR league. This is a startup. Rookies are included in this mock. 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex, and then we've got 4 bench. In a real Dynasty league, we would be drafting a lot more bench, but for the purposes of streaming, we are truncating this draft after 12 rounds. This draft, what's different about it, though, is we are doing 3rd round reversal, which is becoming more and more popular. I know it's the format for Scott Fishbowl as well. What this means is it's going to be a typical snake draft, but after the 2nd round, instead of the person who picked first having 2 picks in a row, we're going to jump back to the person from that 12 spot, and they're going to pick first again in the 3rd round. And then it'll snake normally from there. So it's to try to balance out the draft a little bit more from your typical snake draft. Before we get started, though, guys, a couple reminders. Number 1, if you are not already following our guest Scott on Twitter, go and do that right now. He's on Twitter at MunderDifflinFF, as you can see below his handsome face and his beautiful plants on his screen. Not only is Scott an incredible analyst, but not dead plants. I'm just so
forgot they were there.
They're fully alive. Scott's truly one of the funniest people in this space, so make sure you guys go follow him over there. After you do that, if you're watching this video, that means you are already on our YouTube or Twitch channels. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel at Front Yard Fantasy. If you're on Twitch, just hit that follow button. It is the easiest way to show your support for what we're doing. And if enough people subscribe, Josh might even come back. I think that's why he left today. Probably not, though. We will see. So let's see where everyone's drafting from. Joey, you are drafting from the 5. Scott, you are drafting from the 7. I am going to be drafting from the 10, and JL from the 12. Man, that's spaced out pretty nice right there. You guys ready to get this going?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, JL, did you pick 12? Were you the first one to pick a slot?
No, I was not.
Okay.
Oh, God, I have to turn these god-awful sounds off.
They're playing in my ear very loud.
Dame said, hiya, pals. Hiya, Dame.
What's up, Dame? And come here now. I was looking. I think this is just a wishful thinking, but Mayfield to Detroit. Do you guys think that's even in the realm of outcomes for Detroit?
I mean, at this point, whatever. Like, sure. Like, there's been so many different things thrown around now, and the way that Cleveland and Atlanta handled the whole Deshaun Watson thing, it's just kind of a train wreck.
And I just saw in the chat, Brady said this is SuperFlex. This is not SuperFlex. This is just going to be 1 quarterback. If you look at the team, the rosters, there is no super flex spot. So this is just a 1 quarterback dynasty league that we are doing right here.
I also see
J-Wall, you got 5 seconds.
Winston resigned in New Orleans.
Yep.
Did he?
2 year, yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, breathe some life into Michael Thomas.
Yeah, closing on a 2-year deal for Jameis. Still details to be worked through, but trending in the right direction. Winston and Saints are set to build off last year's 5 to start together. That's from Jeremy Fowler, ESPN.
I think it makes sense for the Saints to resign.
Yeah, it does. He was one of those guys that I would have been okay, like, because I'm a Seahawks fan. R.I.P.
Wow.
But because this year they're not going to do anything. Like, I thought it would have been fun to see Jameis Winston as the quarterback. But
yeah, I think he would have made sense over there in Seattle.
Go ahead.
I was fearful he was going to end up in Pittsburgh as a fellow AFC North fan. Oh, I had a question for you, but I'll let you pick first on that one, Scott.
Okay.
James is a lot of fun when he's not on your actual team.
Yeah. Yeah. Dame said, is this the place to be for the Anaheim Ducks fire sale analysis?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. JL, I want to know what you think about the Anaheim Ducks fire sale and your analysis on that thing.
It's good.
For the Ducks or for other things?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one, JL. I think they should get a fire blanket. Is my analysis. Joey, what do you think?
Well, I think the Flying V is not holding up as well as it used to be honest with you. And
V's usually do that.
If they're going to have to go against Iceland another year, I think that they've got to, do something different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I concur.
Was it Iceland? I think it was Iceland, wasn't it?
I think it was Iceland. And Scott, I completely forgot what my other question was going to be after I saw your pick. Deebo Samuel is the third wide receiver off the board in Dynasty. I think that's a little bit higher than most people would take him, but within the range of consensus. You want to tell us a little bit about what you have? Do you have him third overall and why you took him there?
I don't necessarily have him third overall. I don't have my rankings ready yet, so I'm a little bit on the fly here. But I was looking at a receiver there most definitely, and I was looking at him, Adams, and Cup. But I don't know. Like for this mock, I decided to go with Deebo. Partly, he's one of, if not my favorite player in the NFL right now to watch play football. And
you're in the clock, Simon.
Oh yeah, I see that.
And I think he's a guy I want on my team. And so it's a little bit high for him, I realize. But in this scenario, I don't think he was making it back around to me. If he would have made it back around to me, then joke's on me. But yeah, it's a little bold to take him over some of those other receivers, but that's what I did.
I like the way you broke it down. It's you kind of view him as in a tier with these other guys. Like it's not a big drop off between him and the other people in that tier, and he's the one you wanted the most, so you went that direction. Makes sense to me. I'm not sure I would have him third, but after like CeeDee Lamb for me, like CeeDee Lamb would have been the next receiver I would have taken. It's wide open between like Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel, Cooper Kupp. If that's the way you want to go, like I'm fine with any of those guys.
Yeah, and Adams, I just need a few minutes to process with Adams before I take him this high. I mean, I don't think he's going to fall off a cliff because he went to the Raiders, but I just need a minute.
Yeah,
the news and the changes have been so fast paced the last few weeks that yeah.
I think it's easy to think just, oh, yeah, it'll be the same. It'll be fine. He's Devontae Adams, but I haven't done much more thought than that either, Scott. Joey, what do you think about Devontae Adams' value in Dynasty now, or even just for next season?
For next season, I mean, I think he goes down. He's still a top 12 wide receiver. I think we talked about it on Friday. I think I have him at 8 in my rankings right now, and I feel pretty comfortable with him right there. So, yeah, as far as Dynasty, it changes a little bit for sure. Man, JL, I love that Brown Swift pick.
Yeah, Brady in here as well saying JL is winning already. AJ Brown and Swift is deadly.
I like that Pitts pick, Simon, because I was going between Pitts, Swift, and AJ Brown. Those are the next 3 in my rankings. It
wasn't my plan. I expected him to be gone by my pick. I thought for sure on the turn. That's usually around where I see Pitts going. I was going to go another wide receiver here, but because the value at wide receiver right now is just nuts. But having Pitts right there, I'm down to take that.
Did the Atlanta news factor into your decision, JL?
For who?
Between Swift and Pitts?
No, not really, actually. I think Pitt's value is pretty stagnant. I mean, Matt Ryan, I think it's probably good for Kyle Pitts. He's a decent quarterback, but he's nothing crazy. So until we see who Atlanta replaces him with, Kyle Pitts still has long-term value. I'm not too worried about that. Guy as young as him, as talented as him, situation is going to factor in not too much.
I wasn't tying his dynasty value to Matt Ryan. Like, know what I mean? Like whenever I was talking about why Kyle Pitts was the top dynasty tight end, never once did I mention Matt Ryan in that argument. So it doesn't affect my opinion on him too much. Scott, what do you think? Oh, you are on the clock. This is my specialty. I wait till someone's on the clock and then I ask them a question. How do you feel about Kyle Pitts with the Matt Ryan news? Does it affect his dynasty value for you much?
I mean, slightly, but it certainly affects his redraft value. But his dynasty value, I still think he's the tight end 1. I mean, what he showed his rookie year in a abysmal offensive season for Atlanta. What he still did. All he was missing last year was touchdowns. That's it. And that's something that'll probably fluctuate and hopefully go back towards the average. But it really depends on who ends up as a QB there. Like I said, redraft, it kind of kills his value depending on who they get, especially if they're going for a 2023 rookie. But I'm not fading him really in Dynasty, no.
Neither am I. And Scott, we had a question directed right at you from the chat. Swamp says, to whomever was the Seahawks fan. So that was our friend Scott up here. He says, how do you feel about DK in the future now? Worried, not so worried because he is a beast. So how are you feeling about DK Metcalf?
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm a little worried. I don't know what direction they're headed. Like, this is uncharted territory as a Seahawks fan. I mean, it's been the same thing for better or worse for 10 years. And Drew Lock is obviously not, well, at least I hope he's not the long-term solution in Seattle. So it really depends. I mean, if there's a significant overhaul in that offensive philosophy there, which may or may not happen until Pete hangs it up, I still think he can be the overall wide receiver one in the right system. He's got the speed. He can't. It's just right now they don't throw it quite enough. And especially last year. I mean, last year DK was to blame for a lot of his lack of success. But the offense in general is almost historically inefficient last year from a time of possession, third down percentage. Just
hey, Joe, you're on the clock.
They were
I forgot about third round reversal. Sorry.
Do you need me to restart it?
Oh no, you're good.
No, continue.
Okay. I just figured you were saying, oh my gosh, because the analysis was that good.
so good.
And then DK Metcalf this past year, like we talk about disappointing season. I agree. Overall, it was disappointing, but he still had like 12 touchdowns in that absolutely abysmal offense, like you talked about, where they weren't throwing him the ball. He had a bad season, but he put together decent fantasy performances sometimes. Know what I mean? He showed that upside still, but I tend to agree with you, Scott. Like, this isn't a talent issue. DK's a monster. It's just, can they piece it together? Oh, and I am back on the clock. Scott Fish in here said, restart the show. I'm late. Just got here and probably missed the first 3 or 4 minutes. Hey, you missed at least 5 minutes, Scott, of this show today. Oof.
Whoopsie doopsie.
Oh, man. Oh, no. What am I going to do here? Oh, this is why I hate going not wide receiver in the first 2 rounds. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm just so used to.
Yeah, I got auto picked for Dalvin Cook, but he was next on my list. I don't know how I feel about him in Dynasty. He's 26, I believe, and I still think he has at least 2 more years of decent top tier production. But I don't know if I want to invest a 3rd round pick in a guy like that. In a running back who's at their peak or past their peak, it's definitely worrisome. So I don't know how I feel about that pick here.
I think in my eyes, Joe, like a pick like that, whether auto picked or not, what it kind of does is you're kind of locked into creating a win now team here. Know what I mean? Like, you kind of let the draft come to you. You got Dalvin Cook, DeAndre Swift. I think like this is a team where you maybe shift your picks a little bit to be focused on winning year one instead of like building for the future.
Yeah, the way I like to play Dynasty is not one way or the other. I like to play, like I always feel like that's a false dichotomy, like win now or play for the future. I really almost always tend to try and build towards the highest probability of win for this next year and the next 3 or 4 years as well. And so that's usually how I tend to play things. But you're right; it does sort of limit me in terms of strategies I can build here.
I mean, like, I think of it kind of as like a tiebreaker. Like, let's look at my pick next to Brady's pick. I took Kyle Pitts. He took Mark Andrews. Let's pretend this is a round later and you're staring at both of those guys and you're going to take a tight end, right? You're going to take one of those 2 guys, Pitts or Andrews. Like, on a win now team, I'd probably be more tempted to take Andrews as a tiebreaker because those guys are close enough in my eyes, and Andrews will likely be the better guy next year and maybe even the year after. Like, if I had to put money on who's going to be the top scorer for the next 2 years out of those 2, I would probably go Andrews.
Between Pitts and Andrews?
Between Pitts and Andrews. But Pitts is still my dynasty tight end 1.
Right.
Scott in here saying, I like the Joey's hat shirt says A Scott Fish.
Just one of them.
Just one Scott Fish. Yeah.
A Scott Fish.
Not the A.
You don't want a whole school of Scott Fish in there. That's where things start getting messy.
Sounds delightful.
Oh, man. I almost went J.K. Dobbins instead of Terry McLaurin with that pick. I was not hopeful they would make it back. I was pretty certain J.K. Dobbins wouldn't, but I love J.K. Dobbins in Dynasty. We had our first quarterback go, Josh Allen. Scott, in a Dynasty league, is Josh Allen your top-ranked quarterback?
Yes.
Number 1?
Mm-hmm.
Is he in are there other guys close?
It's still, to me, it's still between him and Mahomes.
Yeah.
And probably Herbert. But I'd say at this point, if I was on the clock, ready to take my QB1 or the first QB off the board, I'd probably go Allen.
Yeah. Joey, do you agree?
In Dynasty, Allen, yeah, he's my QB1.
JL, I know
Mahomes.
you've had Mahomes there, yeah, and I agree with you. It's Mahomes, but Allen is a close second for me. How many rookies have we had go so far?
3. Brees.
I know
Wilson.
Brees went because I was really hoping he'd make it back to me.
Is it
Thought
just
there was
Brees
one
and
more.
Wilson?
Thought there was one more, but it might just be those two.
Wilson as the top rookie wide receiver off the board. I feel like we've been starting to see more of that. Scott, do you you agree with that? Have you dove into the rookies?
A little bit. I don't hate it. He could easily be the first receiver drafted off the board, just based on what I've been seeing lately. I mean, I think up until it's not my turn here. Up until the combine, it seemed Burks was as close. Traylon Burks was as close to a consensus wide receiver one as there was this offseason. But whether you agree or not, Burks didn't light the world on fire at the combine, and he slipped a little. I've seen both Garrett Wilson and Drake London going before him. In your typical CBS Fantasy Pro, all the typical mock drafts.
Yeah.
And all of them post Watson trade, post Devontae Adams trade. Oh, I'm on the clock.
Yeah.
All right,
oops.
let's see.
I did it
Oh
again.
no, we're all good. I will say I'm not super stoked with my first 2 rounds, but I love seeing T. Higgins still there in the 3rd round.
Yeah, that was some good value on T. Higgins.
Yeah.
It is it's kind of crazy. I definitely agree Jamar Chase is the one that should be drafted first. Obviously, like he's my dynasty wide receiver number 1, but I think 2 full rounds to Higgins is a pretty good value on a wide receiver that's going to continue to find success in that offense. Like they showed this year, both those players can be not just good, but like elite fantasy options. So I love that pick, Scott.
I'm doing it.
Damn it, Scott.
I'm doing it.
I was going to take my first rookie in a mock draft of the offseason, I'm pretty sure, if Burks made it back to me. But he did not.
This draft's really making me think. I've gotten sniped every single round.
So you didn't want to go Kittle there?
No, I planned on taking Godwin, Johnson, or Judy, whoever was left. I figured one or two of them would be gone, and so all 3 of them went.
Oh wow, they all went.
Yep.
There goes Travis
That's okay
Kelce.
though. That's why we mock.
That's why we mock.
Man,
as good of a
now
t-shirt.
I have no idea what to do. Let's see.
I hate this.
Keyshawn Johnson still in the league? You take him.
I was looking
Bianca
for
Batuka.
Tim Tebow.
Oh,
I just can't find him though.
Not Driscoll. Is he there at tight end?
Jeff Driscoll. Come here now. Beach 89 says banned. Yep, we're all banned. Everyone's banned. Scott said when the poll is voting 67% for you as having the best draft and you aren't even in it, feels good. I'm guessing Scott won the poll. JL.
I just put it up like a minute ago. Scott, Joey are tied at 40%, and I have 20%. Simon, you have 0%.
Yeah, that checks out.
Could it be that they saw my shirt, saw the name Scott, and said, "Oh, we're voting."
That guy is Scott.
Yeah, for sure. I bet that's what they did, Joey. Instead of voting for the guy named Scott,
They're like, "Oh, Scott Fish got a lot uglier and grew hair. What's going on?"
And grew hair.
Brady, you're saying, wow, Judy has bumped up a lot. Joey, you were the one who was going to take him there in the 4th round. Do you think that's appropriate value for Jerry Judy?
Yeah, in the 4th round. Sorry, my glasses fogged up. This draft's getting really hot and humid. Yeah, I would have been happy to take him in the 4th round, in the middle of the 4th round where I had him. So, yep.
And J-Wall loves the start, I'm assuming, of your draft.
Thank you, J-Wall. J-Wall and I love him very much. He does our mock draft previews, and I got torched last week, and it hurt my soul.
Let's see. Swamp in here. Colts week 1 starting QBs. Luck 2016. Tolkien 2017. Luck 2018. Brissett 2019. Rivers 2020. Wentz 2021. And Matty Ice 2022.
I forgot that J.R. Tolkien QB'd them in 2017.
Yeah, that year just seems like a fantasy. Like it never actually happened.
He wasn't very good.
That incredible goal line at the end of the first game when Gandalf came out. It's like, you shall
Yeah.
not score. Threw this, this big staff down.
Oh, I
Excuse
hate
me.
this.
You struggling, JL?
Lord of the Rings references you
This
hate?
is
pick?
where the
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook pick is coming back to haunt me, because there's really good running back value right now on the board. Between Zeke, you got Kenneth Walker, you got Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, like all these good running backs who are available. And I feel like I can't take a running back because I already took Swift and Cook.
Mr. Scamper said, I thought he meant the start of your life, Joey. Hell of a go so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, really great start, Joey. I'm excited to see what's next.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of movies. What else have I done with my life?
You bought a hat.
Thank God.
It's J-Wall, it's fine. Your analysis was right on.
And JL, I started getting nervous there when you started saying Zeke, that JMO was going to jump in there and steal Zeke right out from under me, even though they've got Mixon and Henry. But I love the value on Zeke in Dynasty startups right now.
Yeah.
It's silly. It seems like
I would have taken him probably if I hadn't taken Cook.
Kaysen wants to know, in a regular PPR league, would you take Josh Allen third round? So is that too early in a one quarterback league to take someone like Josh Allen? Scott, you're on the clock. Otherwise, I was going to come right to you. So I'm going to go to JL. JL, would you take Josh Allen in the third round? Or how do you feel about that kind of value for a quarterback in a 1 QB league?
No, I would not. And in a 1 QB league, it just the value that you're getting above the next guy is just not high enough. Look, we got Mahomes, who went in the fifth pick of the 5th round. The difference between Josh Allen and Mahomes is not that much. It's just not. From year to year, it won't be. For their careers, it won't be, at least in any time in the near future. They're going to be neck and neck. And so get yourself a 3rd round talent instead of 5th round talent at a skill position, and pick up a guy like Mahomes or any of the other QBs that are in, clustered towards that top tier if you need to. I don't even like getting those guys in 1 QB leagues. I like waiting till like the 9th, 10th round.
Yeah, I overall agree with you, but what I will add is, if I'm going to be okay with it in a 1 QB format, it's going to be in Dynasty as opposed to redraft. Like it's an investment with Josh Allen, right? Like he's a young superstar quarterback. If this is a league you're expecting to stay together, that's a positional advantage for the next 10 years is what you're imagining there. So I agree with you, Jail. I'm still waiting. I think the value in 1 quarterback league comes late, but I'm okay with it in Dynasty if that's the guy you want to build your team around. It's fine. Joey, how do you feel about that?
I really like your
quarterback.
statement. Cryag Ruth, you took my guy.
Cryag Ruth.
I
can come back to you, Joey, since you are on the clock.
Yeah,
I did it again.
You're doing your thing, man. Hey, what can I say?
Scott, we'll come to you. Same question. How do you feel about early quarterback for one of these studs, like a Josh Allen and Mahomes in a 1 quarterback league?
Well, I don't really adhere to one specific draft strategy, So it depends a little bit where I'm at in the 3rd round, but I lean towards waiting on QB and 1 QB specifically. There's some really good QB talent a little bit later, and the wide receivers and running backs I can get in that range. And it used to be completely different for me. 6-7 years ago when I would be drafting, if I didn't get one of those top 2 QBs, I'd start to sweat and lose sleep at night. But late round QB, the infamous late round QB, kind of changed my mind on all that. And nowadays, like last year, there were a couple of drafts I did where I wore it as a badge of honor that I was the last one to take a QB in the draft room. But it fluctuates. It's year to year. That's what I mean. I can't adhere. I'm always going to wait on QB, or I'm always going to go anchor RB. I'm not going to adhere to it, but I tend to lean towards waiting for one of those kind of later tier QBs.
Makes sense. We got Kevin here. Bird up. What's up, Kev? Welcome in. And then Brady said, in my 1 QB league, Kyler Murray got traded away for Devonta Smith and no one batted an eye. In a 1 QB league, I think that's fair. It reminds me of a trade I made. Cortland Sutton straight up for Josh Allen a couple years ago. No, like I needed a quarterback, and in a 1 QB league, they're really devalued compared to those skill position players. And Cortland Sutton was a promising young player. Yeah, I don't hate that. JL, is this a trade that's? I have a feeling this is going to be very team dependent, but which side do you tend to lean on?
I would take Devonta Smith all day.
Devonta Smith all day.
It would depend. No, I shouldn't say all day because it would depend a bit on the team. If your team, if it's a smaller league and your team is already very good, and Kyler Murray gives you an edge at that position that you're not giving up, at the other positions, then in that case, it's fine. I think it's fine. I think you could probably get more, but I almost never trade for QBs in a 1 QB league. They're just not as valuable.
It is crazy, like the way the conversation around quarterbacks changes so drastically from 1 QB to SuperFlex. Like, can you imagine this trade in a SuperFlex league?
Oh,
Kyler Murray straight up for people would riot. They would be losing their minds at how unfair
little
was.
tiny pitchforks, very small ones, very skinny,
tiniest pitchforks. Yeah. Joey, I love that Aaron Jones pick. I think that's crazy value, and it's insane to me that James Conner went 3 picks after Aaron Jones.
A week ago, I would have not made that pick.
What changed?
But because Green Bay has done nothing to it since the Devonta Adams news, and I realize it's only been a weekend, but right now, I wouldn't be shocked Aaron Jones leads the teams in targets next year, as it is right now. Now they're going to add somebody, but
you're on the clock. Just a heads up.
Oh, yep. I'm gonna Sorry, I'll continue.
Yeah, I was definitely deciding between when I took Jacobs between him and Aaron Jones. My logic there was, I mean, I know I'm on the clock. I'll go quick. I've been seeing Jacobs in the 5th round in multiple mocks, and I'm scooping him up there. I was pretty down on Jacobs entering 2021, but I've come around on him. I mean, he's one of the most consistent RB2s there is, and his receiving production has gone up the last few years. So I'm happy to take him. And Kamara's a little bit of a wild card, so I wanted to be a little bit safe with my RB2.
And Jacob should see the red zone a lot more this year with everything the Raiders have done. So I don't hate that pick at all.
So welcome in, Tamian. Glad to have you here. And Tamian wants to know, how do I get in these mocks? I just dropped the Discord link in the chat. So if you guys want to get in on the mocks, join our Discord. We post the link in the mock draft channel first before the stream starts. Today, there was a couple spots left when we started, but if you want to ensure you get one, join that Discord and watch that channel on Mondays for the link to be dropped to join in. And it is my pick. Oh man, this is the part of the draft where I start getting uncomfy, where I don't know what to do.
Do you want me to answer a question that you gave me earlier and I was picking?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the waiting on quarterback. Last year was the first year that half of the top 12 starting or the top 10 QB ones did not come from inside that top 10. So they were drafted at QB 12 or much later. Last year was the first year. There's only 4 last year. So I always wait on quarterback.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Joey.
Yeah, and I just had that whole spiel about the same thing, and then I immediately took Dak Prescott. So,
but I mean, the value was there. So.
Well, it was just the value, yeah.
But like Simon said, it's dynasty, and you want to anchor your team with a quarterback that you're going to like for a long time. So I get that.
Yeah, and I don't think 6th round for Dak Prescott is bad value.
No, and I mean, you're right. I mean, it's a drastic difference with SuperFlex, but I still, in a dynasty 1 QB, I don't want to leave feeling like I'm chasing a quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I don't want to be uneasy about the quarterback that I have.
And Prescott's kind of the end of a tier right there.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like to me. We're getting multiple people in here saying Mariota to Falcons, Mariota to Atlanta confirmed, Marcus Mariota signed by ATL. Tamian saying, really confirmed? If this is confirmed, Craig said yes. You know what?
Oh wow.
I trust you, Craig, on that one.
Ooh, I might draft Pitts then. Is he still there? Oh,
Jail's on the clock. Man, every time I want to hear someone's opinion, they're picking. Joey, how do you feel about Marcus Mariota to Atlanta? Is this a plus or a minus for the weapons there?
I think it's a what weapons for one? No. I mean Kyle Pitts. I like it for Kyle Pitts. I'm glad it's Mariota and not Josh Rosen or someone they're just kicking the tires on for a year. For fantasy, Mariota, it could be a lot worse. So I feel like I had a sigh of relief when I saw Mariota. I was like, oh, okay, that's not so bad.
Well, it depends on how you look at it too. Mariota's way better than, who they had for the 2 hours since Ryan got traded,
Yeah.
which was no one. But
yeah, I pick Mariota over no one. You know what? And I wouldn't say that for all quarterbacks. I think some teams might be better off without their starting quarterback.
Just the center just holds onto the ball.
The Cleveland Browns might find that out with the Watson.
Or just punt it every play because every offensive play is like net negative points for them. Tamian and you said Mariota in the first. JK. Nah, I don't think he's jumping up that high, but maybe do you think there's any hope for? Oh my God, it's my turn to pick. Do you guys think there's any hope for Mariota as a like late round quarterback target? Do you think he'll have fantasy value?
I would say just SuperFlex at this point, or 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an immediate streaming candidate if you're going that route, like in a redraft. I'm rooting for the guy. Definitely rooting for the guy. I really wanted to see him succeed. So
the schedules haven't come out yet. Yeah,
him and Winston landing starting jobs. It's like what year was that? Like 2018 all over again? 2017? I can't even remember when they got drafted. Ooh, I hope they open the season against each other. That would be fun. And then Tamian in here saying Mariota and Derek Carr are pretty good later round picks in bigger leagues.
Oh,
and
Derek Carr is a big value. Yeah, if he stays as a later pick, I don't think he's going to.
It'll be interesting to see how high up he rises. Albert wants to know, so where does Baker go now? JL, do you have any opinions on where you think Baker is going to end up?
It's a good question. I mean, no, I just have conjecture. I don't have like any sort of hard evidence of where I think he'll go.
Well, what's your conjecture?
Basically, pick any QB needy team.
Carolina.
Yeah, I think Carolina probably makes the most sense at this point, since what we learned today, right, with the Falcons and the Saints now having a QB.
Yeah, I don't see where else he goes. Scott, what do you think?
I could see both of those teams still trying to get Baker, because I do think Baker is better than Jameis, and I do think Baker is better than Mariota considerably.
Ask again, Simon. I was picking. I didn't hear the question.
Where do you think Baker's going to end up now that we've seen all of these other teams start landing their quarterbacks or signing quarterbacks?
Oh, I mean, Seattle's not out of the question. I don't know how I feel about that yet as a Seahawks fan. I kind of want them to either take a rookie with the 9th pick, or somehow get bet on one of the rookies this year, or have Drew Lock be a bridge guy and get a rookie next year. The problem is that's how I'm thinking as a fan. That's not how they think. That's not how they're thinking. Especially Pete Carroll. He's stubborn. They're still going to think they can win it this year. So I don't know. Beyond that, like, the options for Baker are starting to thin out a little.
Starting to dwindle. Jay in here said Jameis greater than Baker. Sorry, Simon.
Disagree.
And Tamian agreeing with you guys on that one. Dan also agreeing with you. Man, I sometimes I feel like I'm living in like a twilight zone whenever I talk about Baker Mayfield with people. Like the way people talk about him like a bottom tier quarterback. When he's healthy, he's been above average, like a good
recency
quarterback.
Bias is a hell of a drug, Simon.
Man, like he's a good quarterback. Like, he's not even going to be the Browns quarterback anymore, but he's good. I don't think he's a great fit with Seattle. I think behind like that offensive line, Baker will get just absolutely manhandled. He again was good in Cleveland when he was healthy, and his O-line was healthy. Whenever the O-line fell apart this year, multiple injuries dropping that O-line, we saw it affect him. Now he was also injured, but man, I thought the Colts would be a great fit for Baker. I'm not sure how I feel about Seattle or Carolina.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's not the type that's gonna be able to combat that defensive end in his face every single play, which will still be the case, depending on what they do in the draft. The Seahawks, I mean.
Yeah,
Man, you were cleaning up. The Kyler Murray pick's so good.
Yeah, that Kyler Murray pick. That's sometimes they just fall to you.
I was just sitting there waiting to see who was gonna pull the trigger, because it's like
I thought Craig was
Josh
doing
Allen.
Sure.
Yeah, I would have thought he would have went in the last round, but I mean, for him to go after all those guys and in the 7th round when Josh Allen went in the 3rd is wild to me.
It was Mike Williams
Yeah,
or
that's crazy.
Kyler Murray was my pick in the last round, and so the fact that he came all the way back to me,
I think you have my
Yeah,
favorite
if-
team, Joey.
If
Thank you.
Dak had been gone, I would have taken Kyler at that spot
Mm-hmm.
in the previous round. So yeah, that's great value.
I didn't think there was any way he's coming back to me. So I'm very happy. Can't wait to mess up my next pick and run it all.
It's possible. It's possible when I picked Dak, I didn't see he was still on the board. Maybe,
That happens to me a bunch,
or maybe not.
or maybe not. We'll see.
Maybe not. Joey, are you through 7 rounds at this point? Are you worried at all about wide receiver depth here? You've got Jalen Waddle and then Mike Williams, who's another young receiver just signed a big contract. But I like to get insights on people and how they're feeling about their draft and the positions throughout.
No, I really, really like Waddle more by the week. So I'm actually really okay with him as my wide receiver 1. Last year, there was a point in the season. Now I know it's a small sample size, but where him and Jamar Chase were going neck and neck. Jamar Chase started stumbling a little bit, and their seasons were right on mark, and then Chase just pulled away. But Waddle was putting up really good numbers there for a while. And, I think going into next year, I could expect that just the same. I love Mike Williams. As long as he stays healthy, which is not guaranteed the way he plays. All right, I got to pick. Oh, Brandon Cooks was going to be my pick.
With Williams and Kittle on your team, it's going to be real fun when both of those guys are on the field. But man, they play with a full head of steam, both of them. They just go for it. They will sacrifice their whole body for the ball, for the play, no matter what's going on. Kelly, what's up? Welcome in. Glad to have you here.
What's up, Kelly?
And then Jay, backtracking now, saying not Baker is bottom tier. I just like Jameis more than most. And Tamian saying Jameis is overhated. I've never heard that term before instead of overrated.
Good term. I like
Is he
it.
though?
I don't know if he
Also-
is, but I like the term.
Yeah.
What's up, Damian? Welcome in. Glad to have you here. Damian said, where do these 2022 rookie QBs go? It's like the teams aren't high on these
Damian?
next rookie QBs. Great show, guys. Just got a subscriber from the UK.
Hey,
What?
thank
We're
you, Damian.
international. We were. Shout out Thomas if you're in here from Denmark. But I just completely lost my train of thought. Of the 22 QBs, I imagine we won't see any of them drafted in a 1-quarterback dynasty league through 12 rounds.
Oh yeah, through 12 rounds for sure.
Yeah, through 12 rounds, we won't see any of those.
There might be
guys
somebody
drafted.
who's a little
Grabs
eager.
Malik Willis or something.
Yeah,
we
he's a
might
little
get
hyped.
one guy. Yeah, you're right. We Mr. Scamper said bonjour. Yeah, nailed it, Mr. Scampers on that one. But I'm curious if Damian means like team wise where they're going to go or where they're going to go in this draft. I think we mentioned a team earlier, the Falcons, maybe earlier in the draft, maybe looking to take a quarterback potentially. I think it could make sense. Mariota might be that perfect bridge quarterback for the Falcons, like 2 years with Mariota and try to ease this rookie in, but I don't know. JL, are there any teams that stand out to you as landing spots for these rookie quarterbacks?
No, I like that. I like that move. It'd be interesting to see. I don't think the Commanders will do this just because they haven't in the past, but this pattern has been working. But if they did that bridge type strategy, Simon, I think it would probably work out for them. I don't know if they're going to though.
The Commanders, who with Carson Wentz, get someone behind him, a rookie to learn up behind him.
Yeah.
Joey, what about you? Any teams that stand out to you?
Before the Trubisky news, I thought for sure that Pittsburgh was going to take, and they still very well might.
They still might, yeah.
I would love to see, like, I know he's not going to Willis end up with Pittsburgh. I think it'd be a perfect fit, but
God, Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the 8th round, middle of the 8th round.
I considered him there at 7-3 where I grabbed Claypool.
And it was an auto pick.
I made a mistake with my pick, and when the player goes, I'm gonna admit that who the player should have been. I love that Dylan pick there, Brady.
I was gonna say I think I would take. Oh, I know I would take CEH over Tyler Lockett all day, but I also bury Tyler Lockett in my rankings.
On the crazy chance the player makes it back to me, and then I'll say, no, that's what I meant to do all along, because I knew he'd make it back to me. But
And if Leonard Fournette goes to New England, then I'm gonna
Oh my God!
ask for a redo on this last pick I made.
I was gonna say that Damian Harris pick in the 7th round would not look good if that's the case.
God, that would just be a fantasy killer.
he's visiting today. I know. Has anything come of
Yeah,
that
no, I
yet?
saw that.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen anything
Oh,
yet.
shoot. I forgot I took Zeke. Oh, well, this is Dynasty. Both have value.
Hanging here saying, I find it crazy with 23 in the chat, but not 23 likes. Like the video,
Dude.
people.
Hey,
Please.
Also,
you.
Dan, I just disagree. Baker's a good quarterback. I know he's fun to hate. I know people get their rocks off by trying to get people
Their
upset
rocks
that
off.
like Baker, but I think Baker's an above average quarterback. His rookie season, he set records that Joe Burrow came in and broke, and then he led his team to the playoffs the following year. He was injured behind an injured O-line this past year, and
And a run heavy team.
Yeah, and the results showed that. Not saying he's great for fantasy, but I think he's a real life above average quarterback. And Mr. Scamper said, I refuse to call them the Commanders. They are WFT forever. Yeah, I'm with you. I really wanted them to keep the WFT name. I love
cool.
Washington football team.
Yeah.
Simon, I have a question for you after this.
After this, after your picks, can you wait until it's my pick?
After today.
After today. I have to wait until tomorrow. We'll just stay on the stream until tomorrow for you to make that pick.
Oh no, I did not realize this is my pick. This is not good.
You got 10 seconds. Do you need me to pause it?
Yeah, can you real quick? I didn't realize
Oh,
like
wait.
25 seconds.
I accidentally closed the window where I pause it from.
Oh, no!
What?
Auto pick Alexander Madison.
Oh no, Jalen Hurts. I don't want freaking Jalen Hurts.
Do you want me to undo it, Jay?
Yeah, undo it.
Okay, let's see. Sorry, I accidentally closed the window that had the company account logged in instead of just the.
Oh, now I'm back on. Okay, cool.
Oh, mock drafts. Here we go. You need me to? Okay, pause draft. Oh, I got you.
Oh, it didn't take off Hurts. I see.
Okay, JL. Now are you ready?
I am ready.
Resume draft. There we go. And guys, we can do this because it's our show and we're allowed to cheat.
Ha 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 ha. This is interesting.
See, this is the typical argument. Guys, we were just talking if he was a good quarterback, not if he could win a Super Bowl, but keep moving those goalposts, Dan. It's all fine.
A lot of your favorite quarterbacks haven't won Super Bowls, guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of good quarterbacks that have never won a Super Bowl.
There's a lot of bad quarterbacks that have won one too.
And then Tamian in here: Raiders, Bucks, Colts, Commanders, Seahawks, Rams, Pitt, Titans, Lions, Panthers, Texans, Falcons could all draft a rookie quarterback in the next 3 years. Yeah, some of those teams less likely than others, but I think all of them are in the market, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the Titans is the one that's the most surprising to me on that list, probably.
I guess everyone's out on Kyle Trask.
Yes.
Fine, whatever.
Sutton went already.
And Jay Wall saying Baker's definitely a better real life QB than in fantasy. Yeah, and especially in the system that he was in with the Browns.
I was going to say, yeah, he's in a run first system. Of course, he's not as good for fantasy.
Oh, excuse me right there. Oh my God, now I just pulled a JL. Damn it, JL.
Don't say that.
It's your fault. I was so focused on fixing it for you that I forgot it was my turn.
That's your fault.
Yeah, 100%.
This is a really ugly time in the draft.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh no.
7, 6, 5.
Oh, I panicked and drafted a guy I like.
That was I like that pick. I would have taken him back at the 8th round when I said I made.
You know how that goes though, right? Like, I feel like there's a lot of people out there probably last year when they were drafting that maybe panicked, accidentally picked Deebo Samuel when they didn't want to. And you know what I mean?
No, I wanted that you.
Oh, damn it. Like, I remember there was a guy in my home league, we gave him a lot of shit because it was right before Derrick Henry actually took off as the Derrick Henry we would know now.
Yeah.
And he drafted him at that time, seemingly very high. And we were all like, in the chat, we were just like, oh, great pick. Derrick Henry. Good job. And then he's had him as a keeper ever since, and he's just dominated.
Oops. Jael, who was the player that in our very first keeper league, someone drafted in the first round that Steve Jackson.
Yeah, Steve Jackson. That was like my first real fantasy draft. Like, I played in high school with my friends and whatever, like, you know, they only have to pay attention to football except for one of them. But that was my real, I remember being super nervous I was going to make a mistake. And then the guy next to me drafts Steve Jackson, like number 2 overall in like 2015 or 2014. And he was like a free agent. And I was like, okay, phew, he's now the putz.
I'm not the
It's
taco.
not me. Yeah. Haha. We are all making fun of Lane now. Haha.
Just casually calling Lane out by name on the street.
What an idiot.
We're going to get a comment in there like, hey, it was my first league.
If Lane watches this now, that will be the ultimate surprise. And I'm sorry, Lane.
That would be so funny. Kaysen in here said, I exited my 3 tabs on accident. I feel you, Kaysen. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes we accidentally close out our tabs. The number of time we've been in like a meeting, like a Google Meet call or something, and I'm just like closing out my tabs, then I just leave the meeting is a little bit too high. I'll just completely exit out of everything. Arsenal running out of time here. Arsenal's last pick was Calvin Ridley. Joey, how do you feel about Calvin Ridley in a dynasty league? So going in the 8th round, we know he's going to be suspended for a full season, but we also have seen some serious upside from him.
I'm not exactly okay with where he went, although I do wonder, is he going to serve a full year? I don't want to get into social issues, but like, how good of a look is it for the NFL to suspend him for 1 year? And there's other things that are going on in the league that get like 3 or 4 games. So I'm wondering if
it's a bad look, but I could see
it's a bad look, but they've kind of planted their flag with it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine them walking it back. I think it would. I think it would make it would be like an egg on their face type of situation. And because they're putting so much money into these partnerships and they're trying to get betting to be legal in the U.S., I feel like they're making an example out of them.
Yeah. What is it? 8th round. We know what his talent can be. I'd rather see in the 9th round, but I guess I'm okay with in the 8th round. I don't want to. Arsenal's already had a bad enough weekend.
Oh,
not to
Scott,
talk
I got you auto drafted.
What's that?
Got you auto drafted.
I did?
Yes.
Did I turn on auto draft?
It just took Josh Dotson.
Jahan
Dotson.
That's what I was gonna. You know what? That's what I was gonna take. So we're good.
Okay, just make sure you turn off auto draft before your. Make sure you turn off auto draft before your next pick.
I didn't even. What happened?
Dotson was pretty high in my queue, so I don't think that's a bad pick.
No, I realize. I mean, you know how it goes, hindsight and everything. But I took Leonard Fournette, hoping one of Pickens, Jameson Williams would be available coming back around, and paid the price. But I'm pretty high on Dotson as well. I mean, we're in the 9th round. You know what I mean? It's like upside.
Yeah.
You take your shot. This is where I usually get comfortable drafting rookies, as I've mentioned on this show before. I'm generally like rookie averse in drafts of this format just because they go a little bit too early with too much uncertainty for me. But once we start getting down here into these like later rounds, I'm a lot more comfortable taking my shot on a rookie. I just don't trust.
It's different when you draft rookies prior to the draft because they also like their trade value once the draft hits can fluctuate wildly as well. You know, like one of these rookies you're taking in the 9th round, you could flip them once the trade hits. If someone's enamored with their landing spot. Yeah.
Sorry for the fart.
Kelly said, take someone with a fun name. Okay, Joey, there's your instructions for the next
I'll
draft.
do it. I'll take a fun name.
Okay. I'm going to reach a little bit, but I will just for Kelly.
There you go. And JL said, I almost took Edmonds in the 7th. Thrilled he fell to the 9th. JL, how are you feeling about Edmonds with his new landing spot?
I feel fine about Edmonds. I feel as I felt in the past. With Edmonds is just I don't think he's going to be anything crazy for you. I think in the 9th round that's a fine pick.
Yep.
I would probably take him over Penny. But I don't think he's going to be a long-term value in fantasy.
Scott, you feel similarly?
I wonder if Kelly's question came in because it was literally right after the most boring named person in the NFL was taken, Robert Woods.
Hey, Tim Patrick.
He's got a great nickname though, Bobby Trees.
Bobby Trees is great. That's true. Yeah. Chase Edmonds, I agree with what JL said. I'm a little higher on Edmonds, I think, than most people. I did like what I saw when he was healthy. As far it just depends on what you were expecting. If you were expecting an Alvin Kamara, you were wrong. Yeah. But in the 9th round, I think that's great value for Edmonds because there's a little bit of unknown. I mean, that team made a similar style, but much less talented back in Myles Gaskin look great a couple of years ago. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's a great point.
There we go.
They can make Myles Gaskin look good.
Watson.
They could probably make Chase Edmonds look good.
Yeah. Also, we had Mr. Scampers in here agreeing with you, JL. They have to suspend him at least a year. This is way bigger than football. I definitely think they're making an example out of him. And then again, not saying that other suspensions are enough. You can view the 2 suspensions in a vacuum.
Yeah.
And say one's too much and one's not enough, but
Yeah.
or one is enough. But I agree. It may seem harsh, but I understand why they're doing it so harshly.
Yeah, as much as we'd love it not to be this, the NFL is a business, this world, our country, our society, whatever runs on money, and this is a ton of implications in terms of monetary wise. So I don't think they're gonna lighten up.
Damien wants to know if we would do a 16-man, 2 QB, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 2 flex, 1 kicker, 1 defense, 1 DL, 1 LB, 1 DB, 1
so you have
flex,
a team
IDP,
defense, but then
draft.
also IDP.
I don't know. We'll talk about
common?
it. We've never done IDP on here before. I don't know if team defense plus IDP is common.
You can get I don't even know how you say it, Joey. Craig's name. Craig Ruth.
Craig Ruth.
Craig Ruth. We get him on here.
Yeah, Craig knows it. Kelly said, Tim Patrick, that's a pretty boring name. Then she said, I want a player named something like Babykins Lovelace. I don't think they're coming out until 2024.
Who told you my alter ego name? Oh my.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened there. I thought I had time, and it auto-picked for me again.
No.
I was Kelly. I lied to you. I was going to take someone fun, and then I just chickened out and took Christian Watson. I'm like, I don't have a single rookie.
Me too. I took Amari Rodgers. Kidding.
I thought Amari Cooper was still on the board, and whenever this happens, so I always feel kind of stupid because I'm like, look up and I'm like, oh, he went in the 5th round.
I really like Brady's. I really like Brady's team a lot. Wow.
Yeah, I was going to take Singletary.
Sorry.
I don't know what happened there. Oh well.
Yeah, the Sutton Robinson picks and Gallup, like there's a lot of question marks with all those guys. If 1 or 2 of them hit, then you're good. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's tough. I took my first rookie here, just trying to take some shots at running back. Now that I feel like that's what my team is missing. Like we're good at wide receiver. I got Kyle Pitts, but I think I waited a little bit too long to get that second guy. Because while Pollard and Zeke can both be weekly starters, I hardly want to start them on the same team every single week.
Are you guys going to mind if every couple of minutes I just remind the chat, if they are joining late, that I was on auto pick and I did not take a second quarterback in the 10th round in a 1 QB league, please?
Do you want me to? We can't undo all the other
mock.
picks.
We're all good. It's fine.
I apologize for that.
It's part of a long con hustle I'm playing on everyone.
It's going to work.
That guy takes too many QBs in 1 QB leagues.
Joey, I believe you had to jump right before this draft was over, but we can say goodbye to Joey. We won't be finishing the rest of this draft with us, but Joey, thanks for coming on and thanks for drafting with us this morning.
Hey, thanks for having me on and hiring me.
Hi, Joey.
JL, do you want to go ahead and fire me?
No.
Oh, I get to keep my job.
Congratulations.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, Joey. We got Josh in here. So, guys, Treylon Burks is going to be a stud, by the way. He's all in on Treylon Burks. And Tamian said, I personally think 4 is okay, but some people do a full 11, and that's when they wouldn't do with the full defense. So he's saying with 4 and a team defense, that makes more sense. Yeah, I guess that checks out. And Callie said, we won't mock your mock, Scott.
Oh, I'll mock your mock.
I still think you guys should do a mock draft where it's 3 people drafting and 1 person just like making fun of them the whole time.
we usually have 1 person who's not drafting on the stream, but they're not necessarily roasting them. That would be funny to just like set it up as a roast.
Well, it'd be fun for that person to like, they'd have to creatively come up with a reason for a lot of roasting where there might not really be a reason.
That's true.
That would be fun.
That's a great pick, idiot.
Yeah. Well, that's the default, but
you know what? We're gonna go the Rhino.
Oh, I like that pick, Simon. I was considering it, but I didn't want to type out his name in the search. Purely lazy draft choice there.
Honestly, that's a great tiebreaker if you're between 2 players. Can you see one on your screen that you don't have to type to look for?
Exactly.
Take that one.
Take that guy.
Joe, you always give the best advice over here.
Okay,
Antonio Brown. Do you guys think Antonio Brown's worth an 11th round pick? Is there any hope that he's going to play again? He's got the talent. We saw it this past year.
He can absolutely play again. That's definitely within the realm of possibilities. Am I taking him over Odell Beckham? No.
We've got Mr. Scambers. Mock. Yeah.
Mock,
and
yeah.
Yeah. Bird. Yeah. 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 What is that?
boy.
Is that Dumb and Dumber? Is that what that's from?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it. I just couldn't quite
It's when they
place
almost get that guy to shoot him
it.
in the car.
Damien, I think you saw a different version of Dumb and Dumber. AB. Yeah, I think that must be from Dumb and Dumberer, which is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
I was like, no thanks.
Don't. If you
I
like
love
Dumb
that.
and Dumber, do not go watch Dumb
Wait,
and
is that
Dumberer.
the prequel? Or was there a third movie that was also a prequel? I feel like there was a prequel with different actors that was probably
This one had different actors.
Oh, maybe that's what it was then.
When
yeah.
Harry Met Lloyd. Yeah, Dumb and Dumberer. When Harry Met Lloyd.
Ugh.
I don't remember them well enough, but I remember liking all of them. So take that for what it's worth.
I grew up on Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber, Happy Gilmore. Those are like
Oh yeah,
my wheelhouse. That era.
Oh, what happened there? I love Dumb and Dumber. Wait, why is this?
Trace McSorley. Okay.
What?
Okay. Trey Lance. That's a good value on Trey Lance.
Was it last week that we were doing the mock draft whenever some news broke and it was the Calvin Ridley news, or was that 2 or 3 weeks ago where it just completely broke Sleeper in the middle of our mock draft live stream? Like Sleeper crashed, no one could make their picks
as well, from what I could tell on Twitter.
It has done that since?
Yeah, the Tom Brady news, I think, broke it.
Do you think that would have happened if you would have been live when Watson got that $5 billion guaranteed money?
We were live. we just weren't drafting. Yeah.
Okay.
There was so much news that kept breaking during the hour of our show last week. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was preposterous.
Did that break on the same day as Brady coming back? Were those on the same day?
I think Brady was on Sunday, and then Watson was on Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
sure. Watson was like Friday. Watson was
right.
Like it feels like Russell Wilson was traded months ago.
Oh, he's been on the Broncos for years now at this point. You know what I mean? Like I'm already used to it. There's that's not weird at all anymore. No, that one was crazy. My favorite part, like my favorite thing that broke on Sleeper during our draft was that it let 2 different people draft Chase Claypool.
Oh yeah.
Like there were 2 teams with Chase Claypool on them after that news broke. I think one of them was like trying to draft Allen Robinson, but it just did a copy of Chase Claypool instead.
Dalton Schultz went all the way in the 5th round. Wow.
I believe that was Kaysen who took Dalton Schultz in the 5th round.
Yeah,
how do you feel about that, JL?
I think I think it's fine. I would rather have Waller. Personally.
Yeah, me too.
I
would rather have Waller, but like I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it too. But yeah, I would rather have Waller and Goddard actually ahead of Schultz.
And Kaysen with the best pick of the draft, Mike Glennon in the last round.
Trace McSorley and the Mike Glennon. I like it.
Yeah, just beautiful.
Asking why I'm hating on the pick.
Since we're in the last round of a mock, I am going to pick someone as a tribute to one of my best friends in this place, Charles Herms. I'm going to pick Ronald Jones for my friend.
Woo-wee! Shout out Herms and shout out Ronald Jones.
Shout out Herms.
Mr. Scamber said Mostert thoughts, especially in regards to Edmonds. Scott, how do you feel about Mostert, especially in regards to Edmonds?
Mostert's one of those guys, man. Like when he's healthy, 2 different seasons he's clocked the fastest recorded miles per hour on a run. 2 different seasons. He just can't stay healthy. That Miami backfield is going to be a bit of a mess. I mean, I do like Edmonds, but again, I like Edmonds in like the 9th, 10th round, not any sooner than that. I think Mostert's worth a flyer. I think he's pretty low risk at this point at the end of your draft. I mean, maybe he becomes the guy and he doesn't get hurt, but I feel for the guy. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah. JL, do you feel similarly to Scott?
Yeah. At this point, he's just there to confuse us as fantasy managers. He's 29 years old, coming off a pretty serious injury. He did say, I think news came out earlier today that said his rehab is going well. Take that for what it's worth. I think it's him saying it. So, again, you can't put a ton of stock into that. But
if you take the amount of gameplay he's actually had, he's more like 26.
That's true.
But it's
But
because of injury.
yeah.
So
That's true. If
Man.
age worked like that, then yes,
yeah, I don't think it does.
for sure.
Though.
Yeah, I wish it would. I'd be a lot younger, if you know what I mean.
Me too. I've sat around for a while and done nothing. So like,
Yeah,
I should be
my
really
whole life
fresh.
I'd be a baby.
I just wanted to hit on something we talked earlier about waiting on quarterback whenever we got the Josh Allen question. Sitting here, I was not sitting here like punching myself for not drafting a quarterback by the 12th round. I was looking at my options going, how do I pick between them? With Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa.
That's what I'm
We've got
saying.
Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill down there as well. And then if you want one of the rookies, Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, you can get one of those guys as well. Like, man, like I want this to go another round because I want to take another one. Like I want to grab Tua on here as well to pair with Trevor and see what happens. There we go. That is the end of our draft. We did it, guys. Man, there's some pretty good teams in here. Some good picks, some good value, some good learnings to come from that one. Scott, thank you so much for joining us to draft along with us and share your insight on this Monday. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Anytime. I love coming on this show.
Right
We
back
love
at
you
you.
coming on the show.
Yeah.
Anytime to you as well. And guys, if you are not already following our friend Scott on Twitter, go and do that right now. He is on Twitter at MunderDiflinFF. Whenever we put down Jay's comment sucking up to JL, it is right below Scott's handsome face on the screen. So make sure you guys go over there and follow him. We will be back tomorrow with some more fantasy football game show fun at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Until then, we are out of here. Thank you everyone for joining in. Adios.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
I guess I'll say it. Trading makes fantasy fun.
There it is. There it is.